Hi, this is Jordan from Houston, Texas, and I want to give my testimonial about Dr. Lamb's nutritional coaching services because they have helped me so much. I found him on the internet because I was looking up some adrenal fatigue and exhaustion information because I was just convinced I had those problems, and even though my doctors didn't think anything of that idea. From all other reading I've done, I was convinced I had that problem. And 5.5 years ago, I had a complex injury that left me really dragging. And ever since then, I've just been dragging myself around. I had a really demanding career, and I would just push myself to get through every day and to keep taking care of my family and doing what I needed to do. But it just got harder and harder. And eventually, my husband and I decided it was time for me to just get out of that intense career, thinking that, all the stress from that, once I was away from all that stress, I would just bounce right back. And that's what we expected. And once I left that intense career, I didn't bounce back. I just continued to be dragging around, and so we figured we needed to find an answer. So anyway, I found Dr. Lamb's nutritional coaching services online, and was really impressed with his website, his books, his CDs, all the resources that are available there for people that are suffering from adrenal fatigue and just don't know what's wrong with their energy level. I was also seeing a lot of medical specialists at the time, lots of doctor's appointments, lots of doctors that just didn't know what was wrong with me because I seemed healthy. They couldn't find things wrong in other tests. But since working with Dr. Lamb, I have just been coming back. And my personality has returned, which seemed to have just about disappeared. And I'm just really, really thrilled. And I had a really terrible thing happen 8 hours after my first consultation with Dr. Lamb, which was that my oldest daughter got in a very serious car accident, which she miraculously survived, and we're very grateful for that. But it left her with a lot of broken bones, and she needed neurosurgery, and ended up spending almost a month in the hospital. And then when she came home, I was her nurse, and that was a lot of demanding physical and emotional demands on me at that time. And I was really grateful that I had availed myself of Dr. Lamb's services right at the beginning of that whole process. Because what is so amazing that I really want to stress, that's probably the most important part of my testimonial, is that in the middle of going through all of this, taking care of my daughter and all of the things that we had to deal with at the time, instead of crashing, I was actually improving week by week. We would have weekly consultations, Dr. Lamb and I would be improving week by week. And that was just extraordinary because of what we were going through. So I am so grateful for that, and for his very careful approach so that he didn't give me too much of something that was going to make me crash. He's very meticulous and thoughtful in his care of his clients, and I'm really grateful for that. And I followed everything exactly the way that he told me, and I got results week by week, and I'm just truly grateful. His passion for helping others, for creating all of these resources, for giving hope to those that are hopeless and feel like, we're just dragging around with no life force left. And the ripple effect of that throughout all our families, our work, everything in our lives is so huge. So to find a natural way to start building yourself back is so fabulous, and I'm really, really grateful. And through our conversations in our consultations, he did mention to me that a lot of his patients usually wait until they're bedridden to avail themselves of his services. And I wasn't one of those. I wasn't bedridden yet, but I was really exhausted and dragging around and foggy thinking, and just it was so, I had to force myself to keep going. So I'm really glad I didn't wait, because I think, the longer you wait, the worse off you are, the longer the climb back is. So my suggestion is, if you're feeling fatigued, don't wait for it to get worse. Get help from Dr. Lamb and his nutritional coaching services before it gets worse, because it can get better. I'm living proof of that, and I just have a quality of life now that I haven't had in years. I'm getting more involved, I'm making friends, getting more social life, and getting things done, and it's not hard like it was before. So I just want to thank Dr. Lamb and his team. They're wonderful, and they really do care. His mission is really to help people to get their lives back, and he just has provided so many resources to help you do that. And so I want to thank him and for all of his hard work and dedication and making that available to the world through the internet. I wouldn't have found him elsewise, and so I'm truly grateful for that. So thank you, Dr. Lamb, and just don't wait. Get your energy back in a natural, healthy way. One thing I wanted to mention too is oftentimes, you're too exhausted to read. And so that's where the CDs are so helpful that he has. So you could be resting and educating yourself at the same time to really understand the program, learning the adrenal breathing technique, which is just so fantastic and has really helped my nervous system calm down. And I use it all the time. And, resources like that. So explore the site, look at the many resources, start educating yourself, and avail yourselves of these wonderful services out there so that you can enjoy this wonderful life. Thank you so much, and good luck to you.